Internet is, at once, discovery, innovation, product, service, resource and community. In short, the best inventions of the 20th century. Internet is a wide area network which connects the world without any territorial boundary. Client-server technology is used to implement Internet services. In a client-server system, client software issues requests to the server software, which then carries out the request and returns the response. This interconnection between the client and servers takes place through cables and satellites. Internet technology is a response to people's need for easier and faster communication. Communication through Internet is possible at any time, anywhere, and at a relatively low cost. But the fact is, nothing comes free. The low-cost Internet requires its price in terms of rational, sane, and moral behavior on the part of user.
Moral is how do we actually behave, what we are expected to behave by the society, whereas a study of these customs and traditions and so on is called ethics. So, ethics is a study as well as morality. At the same time, morality is a sort of how we actually behave.
While no decent person would think of picking an orange or a carrot without paying the vendor, users delude themselves that everything is free on Internet. It is for the protection of creators, innovators and artists whose creations the users enjoy that legal entitlements are granted to them, known as intellectual property rights. It is a name or title for copyright or patent if the work is published on web. Fast-paced technological changes have made the work easy for violators because digitized copy of any digital data is inexpensive. It is a perfect replica of original work, which can be distributed easily and anonymously all over the Internet. Creating digital copy of any artistic work on web, downloading any material without any notification or knowledge to the author or creator is how the intellectual property rights is violated. These legal rights are embedded in national and international intellectual property rights law.
For the protection of these properties which is being created by one's intellect, we have got different type of laws in India. The Constitution of India also protects intellectual property right under Article 300A of the Constitution.
Beside being the legal framework, there are technological ways also that now people will put up their materials which can be downloaded. They will put up some kind of a security measures along with that. In that case, the person who is downloading the material or who intend to use a material will have to identify himself. Then creator can decide, then creator can give him a login and a password that now you can download my material and can use it. The creator can also advise him that you can acknowledge the site from where you have downloaded this material. Creator can also put up a condition that you can use this material maybe for 30 days or 60 days free of cost for no profit, no loss basis. Creator can also say that you can use this material for the purpose of society or for the purpose of educational usage, but then commercial usage is not allowed.
It is wrong to copy someone's creation without due permission. Even when one has downloaded a creation offered unconditionally without creator's knowledge in using and distributing it, he should at least acknowledge the creator. There are numerous benefactors, philanthropists, experimenters who don't mind giving away their creations without fee or conditions.
What I rather feel is the only way out is the person who gives good things over internet, he should be happy that he has benefited the world, and he should not be so narrow minded as to say that his good things are being used by somebody else. He should be happy that he has benefited the world. So, as far as I think, knowledge as such should not be property of any particular person. Knowledge is always universal.
Crime tends to keep pace with the growth of net because internet provides easy, anonymous access to a number of vices including pornography, adultery, gambling, violence, plagiarism, stalking, racism, or mongering, theft, etc.
As far as internet is concerned, mostly we encounter a very popular kind of crime is related to pornography and related to like obscenity on the web space, and that is covered under this act. There is section 67 of IT Act which deals with this kind of offences where some obscene pictures or obscene language or obscene material is electronically transmitted, and then the person who is transmitting that information is tracked down through a complex tracked down through complex evidences found electronically over the internet and the computers.
However, the experts are trying hard to improve the technology to minimize the cyber crimes.
Basically, filtering is done at 3 levels. Number 1 is the ISP or web server level, at which means particularly particular sites are being stopped at the ISP level, which are banned. At the second level, it comes the organization level. It means certain organizations like university which blocks the access of that site of any particular site to its users like students and faculties. And third is patrolling software or filtering software is installed at the individual machine level, and certain sites are blocked through that particular software.
Apart from the inducement offered by internet structure and ease of function, are there any more factors that motivate cybercrimes?
Internet is a pseudo space. It is basically a pseudo community or a pseudo society. People can fulfill their social communication needs in this pseudo space, and that is why they are hooked on to it. They do not have to go manually or physically to fulfill all this, and this is one of the major reason why people are hooked on to internet. The other reason is that the brain has a very quick reward system, that is anything that is provided a reward as soon as the act is done, that act is perceived as a positive act and will occur again and again. This is another reason why people on internet tend to go on to internet again and again. The third kind of people who hook on to internet are passive recipients. For example, obsessive people who are obsessive, they have obsessive imagery and internet provides them in form of pornography, or pathological gamblers who have an instinct to gamble again and again and again, and internet provides them with an easy avenue, which is usually they will have to go out, search for that avenue and do that act, which is much easier on internet.
Proper supervision by parents, guardians, teachers, etc., and the use of walled gardens which restrict access to pre-selected sites, one can secure children from being exposed to pornographic material. However, no one can stop adults, be it ignorance or temptation. Democratic attitude in the West has progressed where privacy is one of the basic rights of an individual. This right is infringed whenever there is invasion of privacy. In other words, to publish information on an individual's personal preferences, habits, or behavior within his home is a breach of his privacy.
Man has always been curious about others. He always wants to know what they are doing, what are their positive points, rather what are their negative points. So he wants to peep, but socially this is not acceptable, and our social anxiety does not allow us this. Internet provides people with a pseudo identity. So now man can enter others' life, others' accounts with anonymous or other pseudonames, and therefore he does not have any anxiety about doing this, and therefore he commits this kind of a crime.
What I think is that there is a contradiction involved when persons become public and yet want that their privacy should be guarded. As soon as you become public, your privacy gets limited. The more public man you become, the less privacy remains with you.
There are other crimes like hacking, in which the passwords are hacked or the passwords are taken, are stolen, and then they are used to track, to get some information, to access somebody else's accounts. And as you know that the financial transactions are now taking place on the internet, and so many secret transactions are going on, and a password is the only protection source which they have.
Law enforcement agencies realize the truth that cyber world is reality now and are making necessary changes in existing law to deal with cyber crimes.
At present, the cyber crimes are like once a person reports about some kind of crime, then it is registered under IT Act, and then seizure of all the electronic data takes place. The importance of IT Act is this, that it has made amendments in so many sections where till now only the documents were considered documents which were like paper documents or other kind of documents, but now electronic information is also considered as an evidence. So that has given some strength to the evidence collection as far as IT offences are concerned.
We have got penalties in the nature of civil as well as in the nature of criminal. For civil liabilities, there can be a fine up to 1 crore of rupees, and as far as criminal liability is concerned, a person can be imprisoned for a term of 3 years for the violations.
All earlier distinctions of gender, race and nationality are absent on the net. This is an important consideration in dealing with cyber crimes.
There should be a global effect to whatever law there is, and there should be a global law, and should be a global monitoring agency also involved.
Morality, as I already said, is beyond the purview of law. Where law is not enacted, where law is not possible. So therefore, the only two developments as far as I think is to develop an effective world legal system and carried out by a world government. This is one. Secondly, people should be more rational.
One who keeps on committing cybercrime may or may not legally be a criminal or may easily escape after committing the crime. But one thing is for sure, who can escape from one's own conscience? The voice of the soul, sound of the morality. After all, morals and ethics are the ones that make us a good human being and further lead to a healthy society.